So good morning. Welcome to the Process Transformation Method group work. You are here to do the work. And today I wanted to start out with getting in that place. Let's just get in that place for a moment. Feet are flat on the floor. If you're sitting, spine is nice and straight as opposed to, curled up and sitting on your sacrum. Sit up on the sit bones. Spine is nice and straight. Reaching through the crown of the head. Imagine you're reaching up through the crown of the head, and the soles of your feet are reaching down through the floor. So you're reaching up and reaching down, and let's get really, really grounded. Because remember, we are energy beings. The way we work is no different than nature. Nature is always seeking balance. Our body is always seeking homeostasis, which is balance, and it does it unconsciously. There are things happening within our body and mind that are happening unconsciously. Mind within the nervous system of the brain and working the nervous system. So there's all kinds of processes, chemical reactions, seeking balance right now. It's seeking balance. So if you think about it, think of a scale. So our bodies right now might be moving. Our mind is on this topic, that topic. The body is looking for a place to settle into, and the scales are moving. So what we're doing is we're moving from this part to this part so that we can see the movement, but we stay centered. So if we apply this to ourselves, this movement is the human part of us. It's Denny, it's Rowan, it's Landa, it's Anna, it's Liliana. This is our human. This is what separates us. So what we're doing is we're moving from the human, constantly moving, constantly changing, never the same, to the being, the fulcrum, that sees that movement, but it's not engaged or attached to any outcome of the movement, moving, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, all of that duality movement of being human, and watching that, watching Denny from this space of nothing. So now we're going to shift from the movement of being our human to nothing, holding space for our human to move about, have experience, have thoughts, ideas, opinions, and judgments. And we see that movement from that space of holding the fulcrum, nothing, the eye of the hurricane. Beautiful. So now we know the human part of us. It's our thoughts, our ideas, our programming, our ideas of who I am. I'm a wife, I'm a mother. So all of those things we push out into our three-dimensional world. So we're going to push that out here, and we're not going to attach to any human part for now. We're going to stay as the being, the fulcrum, that holds space for this human to be animated. Holding space and connecting with this larger, unseen, expansive stillness, nothingness. Thoughts will come. Thank them. And come back to your fulcrum. Come back to nothingness. Come back to the inner, expanding, open, unlimited experience. This inner, using creativity and imagination to conjure our emotions, and our five senses. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it sound like? This expansive nothingness, knowing that our five senses are also our human, moving, changing part of us, but then connecting our external five senses to the internal five senses. What does this expanding nothingness feel like, taste like, sound like, look like, taste like? Holding this space. And the mind is going to come. The mind is going to come with, put your attention on this itch and scratch it. The mind is going to come as, I could be doing so many other things. The mind is going to come as, come back to this three sensory world, because this expanding nothingness is scary. We've never experienced that for. This expanding nothingness is not for the mind. The mind is going to feel like it's going insane. It's going to die. And it's not. It is not. It's just never experienced this other part, this more significant part of you. Because without this part of you, this body is nothing. Nice shift there. So after we understand where we are and connected to the being, nothing in this material world matters, because everything in this material world, according to science, has already been projected out. So as we bring our focus, awareness, and attention to this inner expanding experience, we get clear on our vision and what we want to experience, even though it's not here yet in the material world. It becomes very real. And it is very real. So creating that image, if you will, of what it looks like to have that $1 million in your bank, what it feels like, how open you are to receive it, and the joy you have of how easy it is to receive it, and the sound of being able to be financially secure to purchase the things you need without worry. Very nice. 1111 here now. Excellent. Yeah, so 1111 is just reminding you. Maybe you can use that number to remind you to check in. Are my angel wings open? So am I open? Am I in that center? Am I at the fulcrum of my being? Because the world is going to be moving. The world is going to be changing moment to moment. The world is going to show you lack. The world is going to show you abundance. The world is going to show you, hey, look over here. Hey, look over there. Hey, feed this because that has to change. Hey, look at this political view and how it goes against our beliefs. Our beliefs change. So all of those things are pushed out, and we're making space. Very nice. And so now our permission, let's set permission. Permission to connect with this larger unseen intelligence that we are individually with our healing team. And our healing team is our conscious awareness, what we're consciously aware of. The unconscious part of us, which 90% of what's happening in our nervous system is unconscious. So the unconscious part is a large part of the healing team. And then this larger, unseen, subconscious, superconscious, Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call this part of you. Sit in it, breathe in it. We are asking permission to assemble the healing team individually and to assemble the healing team collectively. So we're here to do some individual work, and we're here to hold space collectively. And I'm getting a nice yes. Are there any parts of us individually or collectively, that do not give permission to do this work individually and collectively. So I'm getting a no. Excellent. So we have permission individually, our healing teams, collective healing teams, what we are collectively awareness, focused in on awareness, conscious awareness, what we are looking at collectively, what we are bringing up and waking up on a conscious, unconscious level collectively, and our collective superconscious intelligence will also be doing the work. Excellent. Nice. Permission. Connecting with the larger part of us. Very good. So whole week has gone by. Whole week. Last week, we talked about those 6 areas of cultivating within yourself in starting your own mastermind. And mastermind meaning you are taking control and being the master of your mind. And we will be beginning to apply the 12 principles of the mastermind, applying it to yourself. And these are tried and true, successful, tested principles that successful people have been using for eons, for generations. And so as we begin to apply these to ourselves and create this inner space, unconscious programming may begin to appear. Past emotional suppression parts may appear. Triggers may begin to appear. So we're going to begin to work on these things, not only individually, but collectively. And then at the end, what we want to do is anchor the work that we've done and then set a goal globally. So those around us individually, those people closest in our inner circle individually, and collectively. So we send out this work. Very good. Excellent. So this past week, and we're looking at those 6 areas, I can bring that up again. The wheel of life, what your mastermind can focus in on. Last week we talked a little bit about that as well. So here, this wonderful wheel where you can put your focus in on, this is your inner circle. This is what you begin to focus in on and then move out from there. We want to plant the seeds of what we want, and then we want to cultivate and pull out those weeds of what we don't want. And so last week we talked about 2 of the top areas that you wanted to do one or a couple things for yourself. So on a scale of 1 to 10, feel free to unmute yourself and we can chat a little bit about it, or put in the chat, how did you do with focusing on 2 of the 6 areas? 10, oh my God, a whole week went by and I didn't even think about it twice. Or 1, you know, I worked on something within those 2 top areas every single day this week. And this is for non-judgment. It's just to check in to see where you are right now, and self-accountability. So check in. How did you do this week on, I know mine was health and giving. I did really well on the giving. I would give myself maybe a 2 on the pain scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. And with my health, I'll probably give myself a 5. So where did you end up? You can unmute yourself or you can go in the chat. Where is the chat? Oh, there it went. It hit on me. Or you can wave and say, I want to be unmuted if you can't unmute yourself, because then I can unmute you. So checking in, because boom, a whole week just went by, right? Time ate it. Time is very precious, but time is also very hungry.
Okay, I'll go first.
Awesome, Anna.
On health, in a scale 1 to 10, I gave myself a 10. And on giving, I can be very giving, and I was, but then I was very reactive. So I kind of give with one hand and take with the other.
Ah, were those your two categories from last week? Because I know mine was health and giving. Were those your two as well?
Yes.
So health is a 10.
And giving a 2,
A 2 or a 3, but there were still some reactions there. Would you say they were negative, or did you try and find that balance of giving and receiving?
What I'm referring to, I live next door to a park, and everybody from all the other neighborhoods come here and invade the park. And I feel overwhelmed with those strangers stomping on my backyard and killing the fish that they're dying. We're in a drought. So I become very reactive and send these people a lot of bad vibes. So what I give to all my neighbors and my students and my clients, I feel I take away because I get so pissed with the people invading the parks and killing life for sport, or stomping on the sprouts because they are blind to it. So I'm judging them. And then I judge myself. And there goes my giving.
Yeah, giving goes right out the window as soon as you judge it, right?
So that was my week.
Okay, anybody else want to share? Thank you, Anna.
Sure, I can share. I mean, I talked a little bit about this on the post with the group already, but I think that the ones that were my highest from last week were, well, finances, and then it was sort of like a tie for giving and relationships for the second highest, and sort of decided to focus more on relationships. And I feel like I'm not really sure my finances are necessarily any better, but yeah, it feels like I've been making more progress in the business area, which does relate to finances, I guess, but the actual finances still are not really in a state where they're physically better, but I mean, my anxiety about it's not that high. And for relationships, I think I was also saying that, you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm like really saying, okay, I got to put my foot down with myself, that I'm not going to, you know, keep enrolling in all these like courses, that I'm going to stop like buying all these courses. And I guess, you know, maybe that does relate to finances, but also with my relationship with myself, where I'm just, you know, like enough is enough already, that I have, you know, so much material available to me now that it's going to take me who knows how many years to get through it all. And I think I was able to come to this place because I had someone just give me a ton of healing resources, like just dumped like all this stuff in my lap for free. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I've got all this stuff for free now. I guess I don't really need to buy anything more for a while. But that was, you know, I think that helped free up some blocks I had, where it's like, okay, you know, I got to get this and that and the other thing because I want to learn all this stuff, and I've got so much stuff available to me already to learn.
Exactly, and that was a financial opening. When somebody gave you something like that, you can take a look at the financial value of what it would cost to buy all of those things. And so that was actually a financial opening there, to open up to abundance, because financial isn't necessarily money. Definitely. And so this receiving and being open to receive it and think, wow, look at the value of this. It's going to take me so long to get through these. I didn't have to buy all these. And yet, look, it was given to me. So this right here opened up some space for that financial energy to start flowing.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps I got stuck on the word finances because I recognize that abundance is not just money, but when I think finances, that's like just money. But you know, when I think of abundance, I think of lots of other things.
Yeah. Abundance and finance are the same thing, because we close ourselves off or open. We're either closed or open energetically. So we're for money energy. There in feng shui, there's 5 like energies. There's wood, water, fire, air, and metal is sometimes represented as air. But then there's a 5th element. Some call it ether, spirit, that which moves all of these elements and creates from them. And so the abundance, financial money element is water. So if you're feeling blocked with the water element, take a look at your living situation. And I'm going to have you use creativity, imagination. All of you can do this right now. Imagine walking into your front door. You are walking into your house from your perspective. So you open up the front door and you look to the left. I might be right to you guys, but you're looking to the left. This is your wood corner. Then you look to the far left corner. That's your water corner. Then you look to the far right corner. That's your fire corner. And then you look to the closest right corner. That's your air. So this is how energy moves, at least in the northern part of our hemisphere, right? So it moves left to right. So this is the movement of energy. And so if you look in the far left corner of your house, you're standing at your front door looking into your house. You look at the far left corner of your house. Is there clutter there? Or is it open and freely moving? Is there a sink or a drain there that is bringing your money energy down the drain? I know this house we had to fix our money corner so that the energy moved, and it affected the living plants. The living plants, we were thinking, we gotta get those plants out of here because they're dying. As soon as I fixed it energetically, it opened all up. The plants just grew so much that first year. So become aware of that. This is the little extra how energy moves and the behavior of energy. So take a look at that, and maybe this week we can all take a look at our money corner, because abundance and finance seems to be a common theme between all of us. And so maybe we can set up the movement of that energy to move freely around you. Kind of went off on a tangent a little bit there, but it definitely applied. Very good. Thank you, Rowan. Anyone else?
Yes, I would like to
Hey,
comment.
Liliana.
Yeah, hi, Danny. So for me, it was an interesting week because on the finance part, money was coming easy, okay, but right away when they was coming other bills I have to cover. So the way was coming, they go, and I noticed then like this is the pattern for me for years. So right away when money comes to me, it's coming something who take the money away from me. And you know, I start to be more conscious about this, and I really don't like this situation. Yeah. And on the business side, it's really like it's on this time it's really weird, because what was, let's say, I think it's a good solution or it's a good strategy to use like 1-2 weeks ago, after that I realized doesn't apply anymore, and everything has to change, or I should change, or you know. And sometimes it's okay, but sometimes I got frustrated because I just set up a website and I say, okay, now I have to use it to see how I can, you know, use for my business. And I realized nothing there will bring me business the way it is, because it's like, for me, I say, why? So it looks like it's set up on the old energy, in the old pattern, you know, then I have to readjust and I have to start again. So these two things, sometimes it's okay, but sometimes, you know, I got tired to say off again and again.
I typed too much in the chat thing. Excellent.
Yeah. So for me, like business and finances, they are two different things. It's not really like, okay, from a point they become interconnected, but I see them like separate. Because yeah, like for me, finances is everything what it imply money on my life, including bills, including everything. On the business, it's more, okay, money, they are part of the business, but it's not only money on the business side. It's a relationship with what I generate with my clients, relationship who I can generate with the people who I'm working on the other side. Then it's I see it like that.
Yeah. So water energy is also relationship.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Emotion. Water is emotion.
Okay. And I want to ask you, then you said because on my water corner, I have a plant.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's a good way to leave it there or no. What plants, I put water on the plant to.
Yeah. So the plant will take the water right away and pay the bills. So what we can do is set an intention for that, so that the plant takes the water, and even though it pays some bills, it's growing in creating more of that for you. I hope that intention made sense. But yeah, a plant is absolutely fine, but we can activate that corner, the money corner.
Yeah, and how we can activate it?
Activate it. You have a plant there, so you have a living thing. So thank you, plant, for taking this water energy, for transmuting this into material form and material things.
Okay, thank you.
That was the first thing that came up. So it was just like, okay, I'm the plant sitting here in your corner. What can I do for you? And it will do that and thank it every single time you walk by. It feels like it likes to be touched a little bit, touch it a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
What kind of plant is it?
I don't know the name, but it's weird because that plant doesn't keep the water on the earth, but under the earth, I have something who keep the water. So all the roots of the plant actually it's take the water not from the earth, it's only from the water side, and the earth around the plant looks like very very dry, but the plant is very healthy because the roots have the water.
Does it need to be replanted or in a bigger pot?
Yeah, could be. I don't know. Yeah, I was waiting for the weather to become better so perfect. I can take them outside and take care of them. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're moving the plant out of the water corner, that's okay. But while it's in the water corner, set your intention for financial things. A really good plant to use, they call them money trees, but you can put a money tree in that corner.
Okay.
And set your intention for it to take the water, take the emotion, and transmute it into open, light, expanding, multiplying, those kind of things. A jade tree is good too for if this is something, if you want to keep it in that corner, to keep that corner activated, the water energy activated.
Okay, but the money tree, it's a live plant or it's something?
It's just called a money tree. You can Google money tree and it'll show you a picture. Okay, a jade tree or a jade plant, and it doesn't have to be big. It could be really small.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Anyone else? Did everybody go? Because I'm so ready to do some work. Thank you. Come on. Nico just came in. Excellent. So I am going to stop sharing because you see my notes right there. So now we're going to get to work. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Awesome. So subconscious healing team. healing team, subconscious. We are at a 10 in some places. We're reactive. I'm reactive. And then when I work with people, my students, my neighbors, my clients, I can feel that reactiveness underlying underneath. And I really get pissed. I just get pissed off when I see people killing life for sport. It just hurts me. It breaks my heart. Landa, did you want to go, darling? I see you. Let me see if I can unmute you. How's that?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I really didn't give the wheel any thought this week. I guess I'm constantly working on things as they. I mean, you and I chat as they come up, so I didn't really put any focus distinctly on the wheel itself. You know, as I'm processing, you know, I'm so busy processing so many other things.
Do you remember what the two top
Incorporated into
things?
my life.
Do you remember what the two top things were that you were going to work on?
I think I wrote them down. I wrote them down. No, I think maybe relationships because of the relationship with the tenant, I would say. And maybe finances, I would say.
So this past week on relationship, working on relationship every single day, and finances, did you do something for yourself every day in those two categories?
Yeah, I always do actually. So as far as relationship with myself, I've been taking really, really uber good care of myself. I drink green juices every day. I've gone and bought really highly nutrient dense foods. I've been taking a lot of time for myself to just pause. I've been playing a lot of guitar. I've been building.
So you have been.
Yeah, so
You have been.
I'm not thinking of the wheel exactly. And in terms of finances, you know, I'm looking into buying some stocks. So I feel like I'm always working on those things.
Perfect. So on a scale of 1 to 10, on the area where we're working on right now, what was the biggest thing this week that you'd like to work on this week, today? What was like a 10 or something that really, that we can start working on those parts and start bringing up those parts?
The relationship with the tenant, that's still the ongoing thing until she finally goes away. But I'm working on, I guess, probably, I guess I'm coming into, you know, what you resist persists. So I think my resistance towards her is actually holding her there and learning to try to let go of that resistance, to let her go, to really be able to literally let her go, and energetically that she would energetically go. I mean, physically actually leave. And the finances, I think, I feel I'm learning to drop into the feeling of things. As far as abundance is concerned and finances, money has been coming easier for me. I'm not spending as much because I'm not going out. I'm not doing a lot of things that I usually would have done. I've been very fortunate. My friend is letting me stay at a beautiful spot at a reasonable price. So the abundance part piece, I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it, kind of learning the knack. But the relationship thing is big.
Okay, perfect. We can include that as well in the group work. All right, perfect. Thank you, thank you. So we will mute and get to, do you feel, did we put a number to this? About the tenant situation?
The tenant is definitely still out of 10, especially with the information I found out yesterday. The finances, I feel at one with the finances.
Okay, so the tenant situation, we want to get those triggers.
Yeah, that's what exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's do this. Thank you. So we are centered. We are in the fulcrum of our being. Our human is showing so many things, so many areas where we have an opportunity to integrate all of these parts into the healing team, because we get reactive. I get, and I'm speaking in the first person because there is only one I, right? So I get reactive. I don't like what's happening in my world when I see people disrespecting life and killing life for sport. And my highest, this week, looking at my finances and with my ability to give and then receive with relationships. And I decided to focus in on the relationship this week, but still my finances aren't better. I feel like I'm struggling with the finances. It feels like I'm doing better in business, but my anxiety still is a little bit there. And I feel like I need to put my foot down and stop buying and stop getting shiny object syndrome and keep looking outside myself. But yet the bills keep coming. The bills are coming. The money comes easy. But as soon as the money's there, whoop, there it goes. There's nothing left for me. And I realized that, right away the bills came and there goes the money. And I feel like this is an underlying problem where money comes and money goes and nothing stays for me. And so I have to consciously make a conscious effort to pick a percentage, because the money is going to come and the money is going to go. But when the money comes, I choose to maybe pick a percentage and put that money away and not even look at it anymore, because the bills are still going to be there and the money is going to come and the money is going to go. But I choose to make a conscious effort to take a percentage, 10%, 8%, 11%, whatever that percent is. When that money comes in, before I even look at bills, before I even look at the bills, I take that 10% and put it away. Don't even look at it anymore, because this is my foundation of my financial energy. And as that grows, that foundation becomes stronger and stronger. And it feels like, weird, because I think, there's a good solution and a good strategy, and I'm working on the solution and I'm working on this strategy, and all of a sudden it's obsolete. It's not even good anymore. All this time that I set up a website and, now I have to use it, but there's nothing there that is going to bring me business. Who uses a website anymore? So I have to readjust, and I feel like I have to start again and start again and start again. I'm tired of starting again, and I say it again and again. But money is part of the business, and it's not only money. I realize it's my relationship with myself, that I'm deserving of these things. And if I might feel that I don't deserve these things, all of these excuses are going to come up in my reality to show me I don't deserve these things. And even though I feel like I am focused on my tenant situation, this person is just eating my energy alive. I feel like this person is sucking me dry from the inside out. I just cannot catch up with my energy. It just comes, I feel it for a moment, I can feel it playing in my guitar, and boom, there's that beautiful space. And then gone, because she comes and steals. She comes in my thoughts thinking, I could be doing this guitar work in my own apartment. Boom, she steals it from me. I feel like she's stealing from me. She's taking from me. And I'm tired of it. But I do see that what I resist persists, and yet here I am resisting her because she's in my space, she's sucking me dry, and it is persisting. So what is it that is resisting her? Can we show those parts? Because it's a freaking 10. All of these parts waking up. All of these parts waking up. Where we're looking at reactive, because people are looking at the earth and mistreating her and killing life for sport. And I see that my relationships are getting better, but yet there is still something there. There are parts waking up. All of these parts waking up. All of them, every single one of them, individually and collectively. individually and collectively, all of these parts waking up. And our healing team individually and collectively is now going to work. All of these parts waking up. Are you willing to share your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team? And I'm getting a big fat yes. And all of these parts that are waking up, are there any parts that do not want to share their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team? And I'm getting a yes. And all of those parts that are not willing to share with the healing team, you might be waking up and wondering what is going on, and that sharing anything of you might feel like you're dying or you're giving up control. So are you willing to have a conversation with the healing team so that you can share all of your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the collective wholeness that we are, and organize all of that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding while releasing the reactions, the resistance? We might not consciously be aware of why there's resistance, but resistance is waking up in the unconscious. So all of these parts waking up, resisting, wanting to pull me back into my comfort zone. And sometimes my comfort zone is worry. Sometimes my comfort zone is focusing on what I don't want. So help me become aware of when I'm in my comfort zone and getting in an uncomfortable situation where maybe I have to make a phone call, or maybe I have to make a change in my strategy and be okay with it because it's uncomfortable. Yet these parts pull me back in my comfort zone. All of these parts that are waking up. Are you willing to share your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team and organizing all of this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding while releasing the emotional reactions, the resistance, the triggers, the thoughts, the things, the judgments, the persistence, letting those go to the ocean and letting the ocean take them? Once a drop goes back to the ocean, you cannot identify that drop anymore. Once you let it go to the ocean, it can't come back the same ever again. And allowing it to go while integrating your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team. Nice shift there. And the healing team is receiving you. So sometimes energy wants to release. I highly suggest, if you feel like you're agitated or highly charged, find a way to ground yourself, go for a walk, go for a bike ride, jump up and down on a mini trampoline, use whatever you have to expend that energy so that it can be released. Another way to expend it is just to begin tapping, just tapping on your heart center. Releasing that energy, releasing the resistance to the ocean. So more parts are going to begin to wake up. So we're just going to check in. We were at a 10. Some of us were really reactive. Some of us were not letting go. And that's okay. It's okay to not let go. It's okay to be reactive. But now we're just checking in because that doesn't serve us anymore. So we want to release the reactions, release the reactive, releasing the 10s, letting it go, but keeping the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these parts. And integrating the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and organizing. So the healing team is going to work, filling in those holes, like a feather filling in holes in a playing field. Processing is happening. I'm feeling nice shifts in my legs. I don't know why, but I'm feeling nice shifts in my legs. Like I can stand. I can stand firm in my legs. Nice. So check in, darlings. Where are you now? Some of our numbers were well above a 5. So if you go to the hospital and they ask you, where's your pain level? And you say 5 or above, they will offer painkiller. So if you're a 5 or above, there's still parts within you that are reactive, that could react to what's happening. And so we want to encourage those parts to wake up. We want them to wake up because we don't want them to wake up at the most inopportune time, right? When we're dealing with our tenant, when we're looking in our business to see what goals and what strategies we want to implement, because it depends on the end goal. So if that end goal we're very clear on, then we can start walking backwards in what we need to get clients. Because for so many of us, a website is not needed to get clients. That could be a belief. You got to have a website. Is it true you have to have a website? Could I just talk to the people I already know and reach out? Hey, how you doing? I'm doing this thing. Would you be interested? And get out of our comfort zone to ask the people we already know and get in a place where money comes, money goes. But money comes, I'm just going to take this amount and put it away because the bills are still going to be there anyway. And then I pay it off and bless it. Thank you for those bills. Thank you for having the money come to cover those bills. Thank you for the ability to become consciously aware, because when water comes, it feeds those who are hungry and it is gone. So I can take some of that water and put it aside and then forget about it. And I'm okay with that because it's just enough where I don't have to think, oh, that's too much, it won't cover my bills. But I'll think, that's enough, 7%, 11%. That's enough to put away. Nice shift there. So check in. Where are you now, darlings? Yes, I'm going to be doing my own group healing next week, and that's how I'm going to start drawing people in, and it doesn't require a website. Absolutely, it doesn't. Start with your inner circle. And even if we're giving, what we're receiving is their feedback. Maybe they want to do a donation. Maybe they want to give you a testimonial. This is the exchange. This starts the cycle. What you're giving out will come back to you fulfilled. Very nice. So check in. Where are you now? We were at a 10. We were at a high number. Check in. Where are we now? I'm feeling agitation, like I'm in a small box and I can't get out. I'm feeling agitation. Do you want me to unmute you, Lando?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that agitation is me. Yeah, I found out that she went on vacation in March and that she hasn't paid rent since December. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like, and then the governor might just extend the no eviction policy. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But on the flip side of that, I have been flourishing. I have been managing. I'm not suffering, really. The space that I'm in is beautiful. We've been eating well. I have a great relationship. The friend, the person that I'm staying with, I cook for him sometimes. I send him food. It's just, we're like family now. It's actually quite beautiful what's come out of this not so great situation. And I can see both, what is it, a paradox? I can see both sides of it.
Duality. Mm-hmm.
Don't want to go on her Facebook page and see pictures of her on vacation, and I'm just like, ugh! And it's yeah. Oh wow, I don't. Ugh.
Is there? I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Okay. Is there a part of you that wants to stay where you're at because you're liking it?
Yeah. 100%.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So with that energy, you can shift. Yeah. So Rowan, I know that's frustrating, but her vacation might have been booked far in advance and non-refundable.
Good point.
Yeah, excellent point. That's a nice energy shift right there.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Exactly. So this right here, knowledge is power, and having another set of eyes, because we have our own blind spots, right? Because I do the work with somebody myself, right? So you're doing the work and you can't see it. You can't see it. And then all of a sudden, oh, I can see it. So be okay with, you know, I really want to stay here in this situation.
I'm
Maybe
totally okay with it. And I tell my son, I love this space so much. Oh my gosh, I love it. I don't want to go. He knows I'm very transparent. And I cleaned yesterday. I cleaned the corners. I polished everything. I used my essential oils, and I just poured so much love into cleaning the apartment. It smelled so good. I went to go visit my dad. I came back and it smelled so good. I made, you know, I brought, you know, my friend dinner. I brought dinner. You know, I did the laundry at my dad's. So I am very much, yeah, enjoying
good.
it.
Stay here, because that's when things happen. Where all of a sudden you're enjoying, not expecting, and all of a sudden, oh, look, my apartment's available.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so stay here. That's a really good place to be. But yes, the mind is going to go off. The mind is going to go off.
The triggers.
It's going to trick you too. Yeah, Anna, good point. Do you see what Anna just said to you, darling?
Yeah.
Checking her Facebook is not good activity for you. Yeah, you triggered yourself there, darling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but excellent point, Rowan. Thank you for sharing, because we don't know. We don't know. We just see the obvious, make a story in our head, and believe that that is fact. But we just don't know. We really don't know. Somebody could have paid for her to go on vacation. I've had people say, I will pay all your expenses, just come with me. Okay, you know, so we don't know the whole story, but that's how the mind works. And the mind is working against you. Not anymore.
Why they call it, in the Christian church, is why they call it the battlefield of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The mind's a battlefield. It really is.
Yeah, the mind's the devil is really what it is. Let's just say what it is, because all of a sudden, jack, and then focus, awareness, and attention, which is the angel, looks at the devil and goes, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to take that on. Now I'm going to believe that. And then that's all I see. You know, I don't see what's happening with the tenant without this. Very
but I'm
nice
grateful for the
shift.
work, because the work does help me. Because part of me too doesn't even want to get on at 11 o'clock and wants to just stay in the funk.
Oh yeah,
And
that's the mind. And the
like,
mind is
no.
addicted to that kind of funk.
Yeah.
It's like donuts for the body.
Sugar, yeah, white refined sugar. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is like sugar for your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
it puts it out of balance. So mastermind, you are in control of your mind. And when the mind starts going, there's the story, look, she's on vacation, look at it. How dare she go on vacation when she hasn't paid me? You know, first of all, look at it, go, oh wow, thanks mind. Thank you. Because I don't know, really, I don't know. But just journal, you know, or document, she hasn't paid,
I've
you know,
been
all of these
journaling.
things.
Yeah, I've been
doing
the work. I have been doing the work.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Because we're going to do a grounding, a anchor, so that the work can continue, and then we're going to do a global exercise, energy exercise. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, just another thing to share real quick, and this wasn't really one of my top rated things that I said I was going to be focusing on this week, but I feel like things with my health have been getting a little bit worse, in the sense that like my insomnia feels like it's the worst that it's ever been, and I'm having multiple nights where I'm up until like 5, sometimes 6 in the morning, and then like, I mean, I get up at 8 regardless of when I go to bed. And so I mean, you know, I mean, I've had insomnia for a very long time, but it just like feels like this past week it's been really phenomenally bad, and I know that last night I tried to go to bed earlier, but then I woke up after like a couple of hours, and so I did get some sleep in, but then I was like, you know, up again and up until like almost, you know, like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and then Landa says she loves your bird, makes her happy. That's the first thing she's doing, is getting a bird. Good on you.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, if you're gonna get a bird, make sure you do a lot of research, because
I will be contacting you. Trust me.
Yeah, because I mean, depending on the species, they can live a very long time, and you gotta make sure that you have the space for it and you can tolerate the noise, because like he is very quiet when I'm on these calls, but but he can get very loud. Like, you know, if I put him in his cage when everyone's having dinner, and then he'll start screaming, and so, you know, you do have to be prepared for noise. That doesn't mean every bird's going to be noisy, but they all do make noise, you know, to some extent. And you know, and sometimes they bite, and you just never really know what you're going to get long term with them.
I've had birds before and I enjoyed them. I just didn't enjoy the mess that they make, the feathers when they molt. And where I'm staying here, I thought that I heard owls in the morning, but it turns out they're morning
doves.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. When I was a kid, I thought they were owls too, and then one day I was actually outside, and then I saw the bird and heard the noise from the bird. I'm like, oh, those are doves. It sounds like an owl. I had to look it
up. I said, there are owls in Brooklyn? I said, wow, that'd be something. But then I looked it up, and they're morning. But it's such a beautiful sound to wake up to in the morning.
So Rowan, I'm going to ask you. Thank you for the bird conversation. They're just precious, aren't they? But I want to make sure I get back because I started getting in the bird conversation. Wait, what were we talking about? You talked about your health getting worse and the insomnia becoming worse. Is there something you're doing to help you get down into that state of bedtime? I know I have a bedtime ritual that takes at least 30 minutes, right? So getting you down, turning off anything, TV, iPad, phone, turning it all off.
I mean, that has always been really difficult for me to adhere to, because doing stuff on my computer is sort of how I relax. That, you know, if I'm reading, it's going to be on my computer or on a tablet. Can
you get glasses that block the blue light when you're on?
You know, I mean, I don't know how that would really you know, go with the prescription glasses I already have. I mean, I have.
There's screens that you can put on your computer too.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a light, like a, you know, a software light filter that's supposed to do that. I don't really think it does anything.
Just saying, because blue light stimulates and kind of does mess up with our circadian rhythm. Just so you know. So if you are, I try and read a regular book instead of read on my iPad, or I listen to a lecture and I turn off the light on my iPad. So just something to think about, because the light that's coming in does affect your brain.
Yeah. I mean, it was sort of like I have this thing on my laptop called Flux, and I'm not really sure if I have the settings properly for filtering out all the blue light. I mean, I sort of had it put down as that it's just supposed to be like reducing eye strain regardless of what time of day it is. That I think with the default setting at a certain point in time, that it was sort of making the light coming out of the computer more reddish, and that was actually giving me a lot of eye strain, that it was really hurting my eyes with that default setting. So I just made it so it was like something meant to reduce eye strain regardless of the time of day. So I'm not really sure how that, if that's the most effective at filtering out blue light. I just know that like when the light is like, you know, a warmer color, like it hurts.
Very good. So we will include that in the insomnia. So subconscious, we have done quite a bit of work today, but there's still issues of being able to sleep, going into a deep, restful sleep. Feels like my insomnia is worse, and I wake up and there's things on my mind and I just can't get back to sleep. So subconscious, wake up all the parts you see waking up right now, related to still issues lingering, still parts that are continuing to wake up, related to being angry, and that I judge others and then I judge myself. And there's still lingering things with my finances and money being able to come easily, and then money goes out just as easily as it comes in, and becoming aware of, I can put some aside, consciously make choices so that I can stand firm, have my legs strong and stand firm in the choices that I make, not changing my mind later because I'm not clear on my goal. So subconscious, there are parts that wake up and maybe prevent me from moving forward and stepping into my purpose, even though I might not know what that purpose is. So as these parts continue to wake up, you have the healing team's permission to continue doing the processing work, doing a massive reprogramming on these parts that willingly share their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team while releasing the reactions, the emotions, the triggers, the uncertainty, the questioning myself, the not letting go, the ideas, beliefs, and programming that no longer serve me. Easily letting those go back to the ocean and sharing all of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the healing team. And the healing team is receiving you. And for any parts who do not want to share their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, feel free to have a conversation with the healing team, because there may be feelings of not wanting to give up control, of not wanting to die, or a feeling of going insane or crazy. It's okay. Have a conversation with the healing team so that you can make a conscious choice to share your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with the healing team while releasing the reactions, the emotions, the uncertainty, the fear, letting it go to the ocean. All of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is shared with the healing team, and the healing team is receiving you. Processing is happening. Processing is going to continue to happen because we did an anchor. And now what we want to do is get very clear on our vision for ourselves. Our vision of us individually at our best health as a light being. As if things come up, we deal with them and integrate them, no longer suppressing them. We look at them, acknowledge them, and integrate them instead of turning away from them and suppressing them. Holding that image of healed, it is done. We feel the joy. We feel the connectiveness. We feel God's energy freely flowing through us. Light freely flowing through us. Light. Opening and expanding, holding that vision of health. And if I need something and it costs money, I easily hand over that money and I'm able to get what I need easily. If I need money, it comes to me so that I can easily give it and pass it on. Energy is not meant to be held. Water is not meant to be held. Water is meant to flow. And I easily flow, take what I need, and pass the rest along. Holding that vision of freely flowing, healthy water, filling myself with light. Thoughts are going to come, fear is going to come, anger is going to come. Acknowledge it. Hello, fear. Hello, anger. Hello, thoughts. I realize my body and my nervous system are feeling fear, are feeling anger, and I let it flow through me. Beautiful. And holding an image of that global vision I want to see and experience in my world. Holding that vision of my neighbors, my loved ones, and my enemies, prospering with abundance and love, sharing, giving, creating a sense of community, self-sustaining, holding that image and activating my angel wings, larger than the room I'm in, larger than the house I'm in, the dwelling I'm in, larger than the city I'm in, the community I'm in, as large as the earth, embracing the earth. And Nico's talking to me right now. Yes, embracing you too, darling. Allowing my angel wings to expand. And there's nothing here. There's no thought here. There's no body here. Holding that. Beautiful. Come here, darling. You can come with us. Come here, sweetheart. Here. Good boy. Let's say hi. This is Nico. He's going to stay in this energy with us. He might be little, but his aura is huge. Very nice. Checking in. So we're holding that individual image of being healthy, an energy being, large, expansive. And then we're holding that collective image. Nice, nice shifts there. Checking in. I'm going to unmute everyone. How are we doing?
Yeah, definitely better than I had been. That I think with the health, specifically in regards to insomnia, I think it was like a 7, maybe it's down to about a 4 now. I think there's just a lot of resistance because I feel like I've always kind of had this love-hate relationship with sleep that a lot of times at night I just don't even want to go to bed because I have so many things that I do want to be doing. But then once I actually go to bed, then I don't want to get up in the morning, but I make myself anyway.
Yep, definitely becoming aware of our habits. And instead of looking forward to bed and allowing the body to rest and the being to explore, right? So allowing yourself to maybe shift your thinking as to what sleep is and how important sleep is to your well-being. And looking forward to that part. And sticking with a schedule too helps because we are creatures of habit. Sticking to a schedule. And some people only need 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Some people need 8 or 9 hours of sleep. So during this time, definitely become aware of what your body needs. So if you're up in insomnia, maybe you don't need that sleep. Some people find 4 a.m. to be the most productive time for them.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like that if I get 4 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, 10 hours of sleep, like I'm always tired in the morning regardless of how much sleep I'm actually getting.
Nice. Anyone else? Do you feel complete? And Liliana, I can't unmute you.
I think I'm down.
There she is. Go ahead, Landa.
Oh, I think I'm down to a 4.
Nice.
Looking at things from the different perspectives allow me to let go of certain things. And ironically, my friend just texted me out of the blue and she says, Landa, trust me, God will handle this. As you were saying God flow, I get a text and I look down and she says, God will handle it. So for me, a synchronicity is confirmation.
Yes, and there are some in the group, so I use energy and light as opposed to God. So there are some, that don't use that God. But yes, that energy is going to do exactly what you tell it to do when you get very clear. Yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what happens in the next couple of weeks.
I know.
May 1st is coming and a lot of states are opening up. So that means there's no more need to do the tenant thing, right?
Yeah, and I'm excited. And I think you're right. I'm so much enjoying the space that I'm in that's probably what will happen, that shift, and I'll be sad. And I'll be sad to leave my friend because I've made a connection with my friend Jason, and I'm grateful for it. I'm like, out of a kind of a yucky situation, something beautiful blossomed.
Yes.
We're like family now.
Out of the shit comes flowers. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I swore. How are you, Anna and Liliana? Do you feel complete?
Yeah,
this is Anna. Yes, I feel complete, and I feel like a 1 or a 2.
Nice.
Activating my wings larger than the dwell I live in really did it for me.
Nice. There's your being. Yep. Nice. Liliana?
Yeah, for me the same, was a lot of shift on the energy.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, darling. All right, so I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to make a quickie announcement.